Hello everyone, welcome to Facebook Live in the Hive. Looks like we have about 1 minute before we get started today. So if you're joining me, please say hello. I would love to hear from you. I hope you're having a fantastic, fun Friday. I am organizing stamp sets today and it's been a real eye-opener, okay? I have a lot of stamp sets. So that means a lot of organizing needs to happen. So go ahead and leave a comment, and I would love to hear from you as far as how you organize your stamp sets. I would love to know because I am open for ideas. I have a lot of stamp case shelves to share with you. In general, just on my wall. So anyway, go ahead and jump in and say hello. I will be back with you on Monday. Alrighty, so just looking for some comments before we get going. Hi, how are you? How are you, 𝗟𝗏𝐿𝐿𝐿? So happy to have you from the Netherlands. All right, what time is it in the Netherlands right now? I would love to know. Hi, Diane. Happy Friday, everybody. All right, so it is about 3 o'clock. I'll wait probably 30 more seconds, then we're gonna get started. We're gonna be organizing stamp sets. I'd love to know how you organize your stamp sets. Do you do it by categories, or do you organize your stamp sets by catalogs? I would love to know because I think I'm gonna do a little bit of both. So I've got all these brand new shelves that I've got to fill up today. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, it's 9 p.m. in the Netherlands right now. It's so nice to have you. So when I'm done, you can go off to bed, right? All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to Facebook Live in the Hive. My name is Tammy Shaia. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And as many of you know, I moved in December and I have been moving into a brand new stamp studio. We'll call it a studio today. It's starting to look more and more like a craft room now. So yesterday and the day before, we talked about labeling our stamp sets and labeling bundles, labeling dies, labeling punches. So we've spent quite a bit of time on that this week. So now we're ready to get those stamp sets organized. Dies will come next. We will do dies next, and we'll probably, I'll show you what I've done so far in my organizing. We'll finish it up on Monday and then move into the dies, I believe. That's how we'll work it. We'll see. We'll see where this takes us. Hi, Peggy. How are you? All right. Okay. So I do want to explain one thing that I do with my stamp sets when they are current, okay? First of all, let's see, let me get another stamp set to show you, okay? You can look at my bare wall here with the router. Okay, here we go, I am back. Okay. When I get a new order in, it's a brand new catalog. For example, Notes and Totes. This is a product that's coming out in May. It's gonna launch in the brand new annual catalog, okay? So what I will do is I will label both items, which we did this week. We've labeled this stamp case right here. And then we actually labeled the dies that coordinate with it. And there's the label right here. Okay, right there. All right, so then what I'll do is I'll put both of these on the shelf together, okay? Now, let's say I want to make something with the Notes and Totes bundle. that is when I transfer everything to a brand new case, and that is what I want to share with you, okay? All right, so I'm actually gonna use a different stamp set. This is another newbie that's coming up, but we're gonna, even though I haven't made anything with this stamp set, we're gonna go ahead and put it in a different case. All right, so the first thing we do is we take our sleeve out, and then I move it over to my Stamp and Storage case. These are from Stampin' Storage. They come with a magnet sheet and 2 clips to hold that magnet sheet in place, okay? Then I'm going to take the insert and I'm going to add it inside, okay? So this is moving over to a brand new case. And here's the stamp set. We'll put that there. And now we're gonna open up the dies and we are going to place these inside. And so while it's a current product, it is going to stay in this case. And then I have everything I need when I go to create a card with this, okay? And I will put this one right here. I can probably slip this up. And the majority of the time, all of the dies actually fit. Okay, so you really don't even need to worry about that. I have found with most sets that the dies fit on the magnet sheet just fine, okay? They are pricey, Margot, but I do reuse them. For example, when this case, or when this stamp set or bundle retires, I can take everything out of it and then use the case and magnet for a brand new stamp set. So I do recycle them. Now what I'll do here is I will take this empty stamp case and I will store it. It does not get tossed because eventually when this retires, it's going back in here, okay? I also keep the envelope, and again, when it retires, the dies will go back in the envelope, and either I will keep it or I may sell it, okay, after it's retired. So I wanted to share that with you. I know you can get them in sleeves of 10. I'm gonna show you real quick where you can find them. So we'll go over to Stamp and Storage, and then we'll go to Stamp and Die Storage. Do you see that? So we'll click that. So mine get reused. I very seldom have to buy any new ones anymore. We're gonna scroll down to see what we can find. And it's right here. It's called Stamp and Die Storage. I will leave this link with you after the broadcast today, okay? I'm trying to click on so we can go to it. Okay, so quantity. You can order one. Actually, not like that, hang on. Let's look at our options here. It should give us options. I wanna say 10 come in a case. That's what I want to say, but I'm not seeing the description. There's an add to basket. There's reviews. I don't see the quantity. I usually order them by sets of 10 and see if you buy one set, it's $36.75. So maybe there used to be 3 different options for ordering these. So I'm assuming 10. Diane, when you ordered yours, were there 10 of them? 10 cases? Maybe they've gone to 1. I don't know. Okay, I like doing it this way because when I go to create a card, everything is together, okay? I may have to go grab the ribbon, the embellishment, and the paper, but the stamp set and the dies are together. Another thing I like to do is I like to go ahead and cut one of each item from the dies. So that would mean that I end up cutting one of each of these, okay? And then while I'm creating cards, I've got some that are already pre-cut. So you may be asking me, what color do you cut them in? How would you know, right? Well, this beautiful motifs is part of a suite collection, and it has gorgeous designer paper. So I would pull out some of those designer paper colors, the cardstock colors, and I would cut with those. And that way, when I'm making a card, I've got some pieces already cut, and it makes card designing a lot faster. All right. All right. Any other questions? Okay, so Diane is saying add to cart, and it will tell you how many. Stamp and die bundle, I'm gonna click it again. I can't believe I can't find the quantity on that. Here's the description though. Let's see. We'd have to read this, but anyway, I usually order them 10 at a time. I don't know if that's helpful, but it's called the Stamp and Die Bundle, okay? So this is ready to go on my shelf now. Everything is together, so when it's time to create, I'm ready for it. Any questions so far? Anything about labeling? We've done a lot of labeling this week. We'll do some more next week on other products. Diane says there are 10 in a package. It used to be you could order 1, 10, and something else, maybe 20. But 10's a good number. You kind of want to start with that many anyway. All right. But I would wait, get them on sale or get free shipping, anything like that. And there may possibly be a special coming up next week as well. Okay. All right. So how do we organize our stamp sets? You can alphabetize all of your stamp sets. You can organize them by categories, such as animals, greetings, bee sets, because I have a lot of bumblebee sets. You could do holiday, Christmas, fall, Halloween, Easter, masculine. So I'd love to hear how you organize yours. Now we are about to move on to a brand new catalog on May 6th. So I took my current stamp sets today, okay? And I went to the online store and I keyed in the item number. And that told me if it was going to carry over or if it said last chance. And by the way, it did not say carry over on the stamp set. If I didn't see the words last chance, I knew that it was going to carry over and be in the next book, okay? So Anita does alphabetically, which Anita, I've done that for years, absolutely a long time. Diane says I alphabetize mine, but I also have them in my app to search. Oh my gosh. I know some of you ladies have spreadsheets for all of your stamp sets. You have an app, and Diane, I believe you use Evernote to organize your stamp sets. You should be doing this segment today. Okay, so this is what I did, and I am actually going to move my iPad. Y'all know how weird that gets when I'm trying to show you something with the iPad. It's next to difficult. But the first thing I did today was, first thing you should do if you have not organized them at all, gather all your stamp sets, put them all out, okay? Then figure out, are they current? Is it going to be current in the next catalog or online? You want to organize by online stamp sets, those that are current and those that have retired. And you can find out a lot of this information just by going to the online store and keying in the item number. You can also look at your catalog that's about to retire, and you can also look at the brand new catalog that is coming on May 6th, okay? So a couple of different ways to find out. if it's retiring or if it's current or carrying over. All right, so everybody likes to alphabetize, which I have done for years. But I'm actually thinking about doing something a little different, okay? So I'm gonna show you my thoughts. It's still in the process in my brain. Is this the way I wanna do it? But if I'm gonna do it, now's the time to do it because I am just moving in to my stamp room, okay? And also remember this, when you're organizing, keep in mind that you can't organize everything in one day. You have got to pick an area to focus on and organize that. If you don't, you're going to be overwhelmed. And frankly, a lot of times since I've been moving into this room, I've been overwhelmed. And I almost feel like I'm never going to finish. But I know I will. And if I get my stamp sets organized today, then I've done a lot. Okay, so keep that in mind so that you don't get too overwhelmed, all right? Okay, so I'm gonna move my iPad so that you can see what I've done and how I've organized so far. I am not done, okay? I hope I finish this weekend so I can show you the finished product on Monday, okay? But remember, it's a process. All right, so I'm gonna move my iPad off here and then we're going to switch it around. And here we go. All right, so let's look over here, okay? The first thing I did was I figured out I'm gonna need some Post-it notes. There's absolutely no way I can remember each pile. So what you're going to see here is, I think I have to back up, the very top shelf, okay? All of that right there is my retired Christmas. It is in alphabetical order. Now, I'm not ready to part with these. I use them for different things. Like I even have some wood stamps, but I'm not ready to part with them, okay? And that's all right too. Then on the next shelf, you're going to see that I have retired annual catalog 2025 and the retired mini. So now I have combined the retired annual with the retired mini, all right? On this shelf, I have Celebration, and it was this year's Celebration, and they have retired, but I'm not ready to part with those either. Okay, so keep in mind that you don't have to get rid of everything. Now here, remember we've got retired annual catalog right here, and we're gonna move down to current stamp sets, okay, that are going to be in the annual catalog next month, all right? And they're alphabetized. So you're going to see if it's retired. Yes, I've alphabetized it. Even the retired Christmas, it's alphabetized as well, okay? All right, so that's this side of the room. We're gonna get to the counter in a second. Now let's move on over here. This is actually where you go out of the stamp room. So when you walk in the stamp room, this case is on your right. All right, and so right here, y'all know what that is? It's that lovely router that has given me 12 weeks of frustration. So yes, it has a place of honor, and that was the best place for us to put it. Okay, let's head on down here to the very bottom, and guess what we have? Current online exclusives. They are current. I've checked them all today, and they are current. And I'm seeing Humble Home, by the way, is not retired. It was in the Christmas mini this past Christmas, but it's not in the annual book. So I think it's just gonna be available online, which means I could probably do the pink dot at this point. okay? And I see another one, More Than Autumn, does not have a dot on it. So I need to follow up with that to see if it's online. All right, I have skipped a shelf. And by the way, these may move. I mean, this could all look totally different on Monday. These are retired online exclusives. But at this point, I could take those retired stamp sets and mix them in with the other retired stamp sets. They really don't have to stay on their own shelf now, okay? All right, the rest of the stamps. This is what I'm trying to organize now. And this is the cutting area for the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. So I am thinking I may organize by holidays. I could probably have a Halloween and fall section because I want to keep these. And you, my dear, which is Notes and Totes, you are on the wrong counter. Then I've got all my masculine sets right here. Okay, here they are. It's right many of them. I've got Easter here. This is a background stamp. So if I don't have any other background stamps, it'll just be alphabetized with the retired stamps. So this is where I am right now. All my alphabet stamp sets in this stack. I could definitely have a birthday section. Definitely have to have one for adorable animals. These are religious stamp sets right here, so I want all of those together. And here are my bee stamp sets. And then over here in this corner right now, I have, they're demonstrator stamp sets. Like here is the Statement of the Heart. So these are demonstrator stamp sets that I would like to put together as well. Okay, so I am seriously considering taking the retired stamp sets, and I may leave all of the retired sets on this bookcase. And I'm thinking about organizing them by categories, and within the category, they would be alphabetized. If I do put them in categories, I am going to make some cute little signs to go with it. All right. All right. I see your comment, Diane, about the bee stamps. Okay. So I also have some wood stamps, and I'm going to show you those. These are some of my favorites over the years, but they have a place of honor. They're in a drawer. And so here they are. These are just things that I cannot part with. And I think it's kind of fun to have some of the wood ones. Here's another one. So I've got some pretty cute ones in there, and I love snowmen, so I had to put those in there as well. Do any of y'all have any of these stamp sets? Okay, so I have 2 drawers of wood stamp sets there. All right, something else that I have to consider, okay? My customers, my friends, more friends than customers, of course. I like the word friends better. They have given me so many bee trinkets and knickknacks over the years. And so as I put my stamp cases on the shelf, I'm going to be incorporating bee decor. And so I have several boxes that are labeled that say bee decorations. So I actually have to open up those boxes and get that stuff out as well so that I can incorporate it into my stamp sets. Okay, so that's what I have. I would love to hear from you as far as how you're doing yours. Does anyone have any other ideas? So, but the more I think about it, I'll use the retired stamps more often if they are organized in categories. Now, I could take the stamp sets and just alphabetize it all and call it retired, but I think it would be more useful if I did categories, which means I have to make some cute little signs or something to hang on the shelves. So, thoughts. I would love to, has anyone done their stamp organization lately? Have you all transitioned from the annual catalog that's about to retire to the new annual catalog that is coming? When the mini comes in September, I will have a shelf devoted just to the mini catalog. And I do want a shelf that's just devoted to current annual catalog products. And of course, I want another shelf that has current online exclusives on it. So, it depends on what I'm working on, 𝗍𝗂. Before moving, I had to do a lot of decluttering and I got rid of an incredible amount of product. But keep in mind that I've been doing this 17 years. And so, you know, you always have those favorite stamp sets that you can't part with. And so I keep them. And maybe it's greetings that I keep. But yeah, I will go back and use them if, you know, if I'm making a specific card, like for a wedding or for babies. There's another category. And I could almost call that category special occasions. I think I will. I'm going to write that down. Special occasions, and that's where I can have the babies and where I can have wedding and actually graduation. All right, y'all have any more ideas for me? I am open to it. Can you think of anything else? Now, how many of you have registered for the In Color Share Box? We need to get that done, girls. Get your name on the list. Diane says, I ran out of space on my shelving and I had to pull out Christmas and Halloween to make space. And they are also alphabetized. Great. Yeah, and no matter if I decide to do categories, definitely I will alphabetize within the category. All right. So this is my job for the next few days, is to get these stamp sets completely organized and get my cute little knickknacks up. And I'm actually going to move the shelves a little bit too. I'm going to adjust them. One of the nice things about Closet Factory is you can add extra shelves if you need to. You can always order more, found that out. And you can also adjust them, which is really, really nice. So I'm going to do a little adjusting on that this afternoon. I'm going to get out all my bead trinkets, and then I'm going to start getting everything ready to go. So, and at least I'll have that done. And then next week we can move into die storage and embossing folder storage, which I really want to get to. Any questions? All right, I'll wait just a couple more seconds just in case. The In Color Share Box is coming up. We've got some lovely, lovely In Color cards right here. All right, and these are coming. Love these colors. In my product share box, you get cardstock, you get two-tone cardstock, you get designer paper, 12.5 yards of ribbon, embellishments, a color coach, and we have a color palette, and you also get 20 card bases. So I'll leave you the link where you can go and read about it and sign up, okay? Thanks, Diane. I think it's coming together. Sometimes, though, I get a little bit overwhelmed, like, I am never going to finish. So, 𝗍𝗂 says she has 50 stamp sets, but I have not been a hobby demo for that long. And you know what? For all of us, we can all relate to this because we end up collecting them, right? And then it's like, whoa, I need to get rid of some of these. All right, everyone, have a great weekend. Happy Easter to those who are celebrating. and I'll be back on Monday. That is the plan. I'll be here Monday. And if the stamp sets are done, I'll show you the bookcases again. And then hopefully we can move into dies. All right. So we still have lots to cover. We have ribbon, embellishments, cardstock, designer paper. So I hope you're enjoying this series. It's been fun for me. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've learned something from it as well. All right, everyone. Happy Easter and happy weekend to you. Thanks so much for joining me this week. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Take care. Bye.